Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hi, everybody. Really glad you're here today.
We sure are. Today, we're excited to have you here. We're going to be talking about content silos. This is a concept that you may be employing, and if you're not, you may consider employing to be able to better create content in a way that is streamlined, that is easily navigable, and ultimately brings great results for you in terms of traffic and lead flow to your site and even to your social. I think this is an important strategy, of course, for your long form content that will get you better search results in the search engines, but this is also something that's going to apply really to what putting yourself out there looks like, period. So whether you are just getting started with content or this is something that you are actively engaged with, you're going to find something new to improve what you are working on here today. So welcome. Today we are excited to have you here. If you're excited to be here, let me know in the chat. Let me know what you're excited to learn about. We're going to get into some resources that I've shared previously and a new way that you can look at using them. And of course, as always, we will have live work reviews. So if you are here for a review, we will get to you in the second half of our call after we go through the slides here today. Welcome. So excited to have you and to be a part of your journey, making a difference. Greg and I are going to pop out a video so I can get into some slides that I have prepared for you. Again, welcome. So excited to have you here today. We're going to talk about structuring your content with a little thing I like to call content silos. So today, this is going to help you create better visibility, to be more organized in how you create your content, to create content more easily, and then ultimately have that content work for you more effectively. So let's talk about this. Today, we're going to cover what content silos are and why they matter to your business, how they improve your SEO, your organization, your brand clarity, and how you can use those content silos in AttractWell and how to identify yours. If you are unclear on yours, if you don't have them, if your content's all over the place and you need them, we're going to figure out how to implement those or maybe even to improve the ones you have. And then we'll talk about how you can plan and organize your content using these silos. And again, as always, live help and Q&A in the second half of this call, because this is a live call where we get to roll up our sleeves and work together. If you have questions and you'd like some help on today's call, please make sure you add those questions to the Q&A so they don't get lost in the chat. This is open to anyone here on this call, whether it pertains to today's subject matter or not. You've got me and you've got Greg here to help you. If you would like to join us on a future live call and you're watching this on YouTube, go to attractwell.com/office hours. This is where you can go to sign up for this live free call that we offer every single Thursday at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. If you're not even a member of AttractWell, if you don't have an AttractWell account yet, you are still welcome to come to these as well. If you are kind of just figuring out whether or not this is right for you, this is also a great place to go and learn a little bit more about us and maybe get your questions answered before you get started. Now, what you might want to do, as two people have chosen to do today, is to sign up for a live work review. In the second half of these Thursday calls, we work together with members of our community, again, totally free, on whatever your strategy is, whatever your project may be. You can get live feedback, support, hands-on help. Take advantage of this. We offer it every single Thursday. And if you would like for someone to just do the work for you, we've got you covered there too. AttractWell.com/concierge, where you want to go to learn about our team and schedule a zero obligation call. All right, let's get into this. We got a lot to get to today. We are talking about content silos, and essentially what these are umbrellas. So if you could imagine, your brand is one big umbrella that covers a bunch of stuff that you do and a bunch of stuff that you talk about, right? It's all the ways that you show up for and serve and attract the people that you want to work with. Now, content silos are, sort of little sub umbrellas that exist here. And this is the stuff that we talk about. This is what we are about. If you could imagine an actual silo, perhaps on a farm, that's where you might store grain. Typically, inside of a silo, you're only going to find a whole lot vertically of one particular thing, right? So this is maybe one particular type of plant seed or, or feed for cattle or whatever that might be. Your content silos are going to be structures where we organize what we're talking about into clear spaces so that they're easy to navigate and folks can find what they're looking for. So these are ultimately top level categories and keywords that your brand is known for. They help you to structure and organize your content for easy navigation and creation, and they provide you a clear and consistent perspective, right? It allows you to become better known for what it is that you talk about. it's very easy, especially if you are clinically trained or you're certified in what you do. You've got a lot of high level understanding and use ultimately a different vocabulary from the person that needs to know your value. And so utilizing content silos is going to allow you a structure by which you can better explain the benefits of what you do in a way that matters to the person that needs to hear it, right? So it's going to be quite different from, say, for example, if you were to consult a textbook that you may have studied, you'll see chapters that cover specific topics. Those are silos. Chapters are silos, but those are structured in a way that is fundamentally different for you, the practitioner, than it would be for the person, the client, who is the recipient of the work that you do. So we need to kind of break down what we do in a way that's easy for them to navigate, just like you might have navigated a textbook to learn what you know. This is also going to help you to better rank in the search engines, right? This allows you to group related topics together. There are several strategies related to SEO and the way that you structure your content, your blog posts, and even pages on your website that allow you to get more recognition in search engines for particular keywords. And utilizing content silos as a strategy are going to help you to that end as well. Now, let's talk about this if you're not clear yet on why you need to be focusing on content silos first for your content. Let's get into a little bit more of this. We can signal clearer topics to our search engines. If we can say, here is my umbrella, and here are the related things that I talk about underneath it, it is going to be a lot easier for the algorithms to be able to feed through and see that someone who is interested in either the top level topic or even the subtopics is going to find what they're looking for when they go to your website, right? So instead of, having 57 things that aren't necessarily well organized, and that's not going to be easy for a search engine to logically pull through and recognize as being premium content. If you have this organized, this is something that's going to help with that, which does really make a big difference in terms of your searchability long term. This also really importantly, both for SEO and just generally for your conversions, it's going to make your website easier to navigate for visitors. If they can go and find something that they like, and perhaps they find you via search, they find a thing that they like, but then we want to keep them around long enough to see that there's more here for them. And there's a reason that they ought to maybe subscribe to your newsletter or to get your lead magnet or whatever the offer is that you're making on your website, right? It's never a one and done thing. We want to provide them a rabbit hole, if you will, to dive into where they can find more of what they're interested in so that we keep them on your website for longer. You also can simplify content creation and planning. If you know the perspective, if you know that you're going to show up talking about something that fits under category A, B, C, or D, and you want to talk about topic X, you have a very clear way to be able to basically reframe topic X, not as a thing that stands on its own, like you might find it as a Wikipedia entry, but something that is contextualized to your silos, right? This allows you to create content easily, more quickly, and more authentically because you really are coming from your unique perspective when you're creating your content, which of course allows you to establish your own unique voice and brand authority. Now, in AttractWell, content silos function in a very specific way, and that is using blog category tags. So your content silos would be apparent in AttractWell based on your blog category tags. You can also create pages in AttractWell that focus on these top level keywords as well. We'll get to that later on though. So blog category tags is what you want to focus on. And I'm going to take a quick sidebar here and show you guys exactly where you can go to find that. Now, I am in Jane's account here. This is a test account. It doesn't have a lot of blog posts, but the blog posts that it has do have categories. Let me actually just show you what this looks like, though, just from a published site perspective. I do have the blog under the Learn menu. And so you can actually see her blog here. And these blog categories, she actually only has 3, and they are, as you could tell, not really related to each other. This is not something that we have constructed as a perfect example for you. But this is where people are going to be able to see these topics on the blog digest page, as well as when they go and open up a blog post, they will see these listed here as well, right? So these are our blog our categories, our blog categories. So you'll be able to show those, and actually if they click on them, they'll be able to see all of the different posts that pertain to that particular topic. You can even see it actually creates a URL up here where you see the tag and then you see, or you see tag here and then holistic education is the tag for this one. That is actually a shareable link. So if you wanted to be able to demonstrate that you have, 27 blogs about this particular topic, they could simply click here on one of your blog categories and then scroll through all of those. And you could even share this link directly, which is pretty cool. Now on the back end, if we go to our blog posts, individually on these posts, you can actually click to open up, and beneath your title and the body of the post, when you scroll down here, you can see blog categories here. And if you click, you can actually see a list of all of the ones that you've used. All right, so just so we're clear on what those category tags are, they are on the blogs themselves. You get to add those as you like. All right, so each post that you create on your AttractWell blog, and you should be creating an AttractWell blog post every week just as a practice, whether it is a standalone blog or a way to showcase long form content on YouTube or a podcast. All of this is stuff that you can place onto your blog as well. So you want to make sure you have at least one relevant category tag that represents your content silo. And those tags are going to, as I just showed you, improve searchability and organization for visitors and importantly for search engines as well. Now, what does it mean to figure out what our silos are? I'm actually curious. Head over into the chat and let me know if you are creating content. If somebody were to ask you, well, if I went to your blog, what do you talk about? Would you be able to concisely say, I talk about A and B and C and D? Right? Or do you feel like you're maybe more all over the place? What does that look like for you? Do you have clarity on that? Let me know in the chat. So let's talk about what it looks like to define these. So first things first, it is important to have at least 3 to 5, right? And I actually wouldn't go above this. 5 would be like on the upper end, mostly because, again, you don't want to be all over the place. Your people need to understand what you're the go-to for, right? And if you're the go-to for everything, then you're talking to everyone, which means we're kind of talking to no one, right? So we want to make sure that we are super clear. We're talking about A, B, C, and D, maybe also E. I think 5 is really at the upper level of the number of top level topics that you should have. And it's also totally fine for you to have, 3, maybe 2. I would argue that 3 is a really good, like 3 to 4 is a sweet spot. So silos should be broad enough to allow multiple posts, but specific enough to define your expertise. So what does that mean? If, let's just say, for instance, I like to talk about holistic practices, I could talk about holistic lifestyle. I could call holistic lifestyle one of my content silos, but that is super broad, right? Because holistic lifestyle could pertain to cleaning my house as well as my sleep patterns and like walking outside barefoot. And these are all very sort of disparate and very vanilla, right? It's not really hitting relevant for really anybody, right? Because again, we don't want to speak to everybody. We want to speak to our person. If we are speaking like we're speaking to everyone, no one is going to pay attention because it really doesn't sound like something that they need for themselves, right? So we want to make sure that we are giving some specificity. So let's get into some examples here for different types of businesses. So maybe you're a wellness coach and you focus on mind, body wellness, nutrition and gut health, movement and energy, and natural living. These are all silo examples, right? So if you are a wellness coach, these are all examples of what you could be known for, right? If you're a business coach, maybe your silos are productivity and time management, scaling and growth strategies, marketing lead generation, and mindset and leadership, right? And there's a lot of ands in here. If you've got a lot of ands, I would trim the big list down, right? Generally speaking, most of what we are going to talk about is going to fit inside of a couple of umbrellas, right? And we need those umbrellas to be things that our people want to stand under and spend some time under, right? A fitness trainer is going to talk about strength training, weight loss and nutrition, recovery and injury prevention, mindset and motivation, perhaps. And again, these are all very vanilla examples. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we can really zero these in a bit further. A parenting coach maybe talks about early childhood development, parenting strategies and discipline, family health and wellness, and work-life balance for parents, right? So let's talk about how we can go from a scattered uh, approach, which is where most of us start, to something that's a bit more refined and tailored to the interests of our ideal person. So before, maybe we've got a course creator that's helping women in perimenopause, right? So this is maybe someone who is a wellness coach of some kind. So she creates maybe random health related blog posts that are useful. So maybe she's talking about hot flashes, right? Or maybe she's talking about um, I don't know, whatever the, top nutrients that you might want to consume, right? But we're not really speaking directly to her ideal person. So she could say things like best foods for women's health, or why sleep is important as you age, or how to reduce stress naturally, why you should try strength training, the benefits of a healthy diet, right? So these are all fine. Right. And you, if this is something that you do, if this is the person that you are focusing on reaching, then you are going to be you're speaking in the right direction, right? So if I say, like, I'm creating a blog post and my title is Best Foods for Women's Health, that's speaking to all women, right? That could be speaking to a woman who is trying to conceive. That could be speaking to a woman who is, in her 80s, right? So we need to be a bit more clear about this. Do you see the difference? Right? These are all quite bland and straightforward. They're not wrong in terms of topic. You should be talking about these topics, right? The subject matter, but we need to frame them differently, right? So what do we do here? We define our four content silos based on the key concerns and struggles of our ideal person. So our defined content silos then would be hormonal balance and symptom relief. So this is going to include her posts about things like hot flashes, mood swings, irregular cycles, etc. Nutrition for perimenopause. So not just talking about nutrition for women, but saying nutrition for perimenopause. That's speaking very specifically to her person. So what are the best foods for hormone balance, managing weight gain, etc. Movement and strength. And here we get to talk about this again, specifically for women in perimenopause, exercise for bone health, energy and muscle maintenance as we age, etc. Mind body wellness would be another silo where she can talk about stress reduction, sleep, mental clarity, and self-care, again, all from the perspective of the interests of a woman who is in that stage of her life, right? So now her blog post titles can be more specific, targeted, and relevant to her audience. And we have not limited ourselves to the volume of things that we can talk about if we choose these as silos, right? All right. So here are some examples. So hormonal balance and symptom relief. Here's a topic or a blog post title rather, why perimenopause is making you moody and what to do about it, how to soothe hot flashes naturally without medication, feeling off, 5 signs your hormones are changing. Under the nutrition label, we could say the 5 best foods for hormone balance in your 40s, how to stop sugar cravings in perimenopause, and why you're gaining weight even when you haven't changed your diet, right? So you see how we are going from an accurate keyword, right, where we know we want to talk about hot flashes or we know we want to talk about hormones, but instead of coming across like a Wikipedia article, we are tailoring how we're talking so that this concept becomes something that is approachable and, most importantly, interesting to, relevant to the person that we want to attract, right? So under movement and strength, we would say the best type of exercise for women over 40. Why cardio alone won't help you keep muscle in perimenopause. The 3 strength training myths that keep women stuck. And then under mind body wellness, we can say why your sleep is getting worse in perimenopause and how to fix it, how to manage anxiety and brain fog in your 40s, and the best evening routine for hormone health and better sleep, right? So you see how we went from something, again, that's very vanilla and into something that is a bit more targeted, right? So the difference here is we've got more clarity and connection, so the audience can immediately see that her content is made for them. We've got better organization in SEO. Her Blogs are now structured in a way that makes it easier for readers and search engines to navigate, and you have an easier time with your content planning because you can rotate through your silos each month, making sure that you are always hitting enough of the right topics and staying balanced, right? So if somebody arrives and they're interested in a particular topic, they've got a lot to go through, and we can keep them on the site longer, building that trust with you, and of course, building your authority with the search engines. And you'll also have stronger alignment with the offer, right? So each topic is naturally going to lead toward the thing that you're selling. That's the other thing that's really important. If we're talking about something, say like we're blogging about something, and we're treating it like, we're reading off a dictionary definition or creating a Wikipedia page, we're going to have a really hard time making an easy transition from whatever that concept is that we're speaking on to the offer that we ultimately want to make. And so the more tailored we can get in the way that we deliver the information that we want to share, the easier we can transition toward our offer being the solution to the problem that we know that they're experiencing if they're reading that post, right? If they're looking for that kind of information. So let's talk about how we can plan and organize on a quarterly basis using our silos. First, I want to turn your attention to the Trello swipe file and content planner that was given away a little bit ago. Let me show you where you can find it here real quick, and Greg has a link to it as well. If you ever want to find it in the future, if you go here to Success Academy in AttractWell, go to your live training and replays, view by topic, and this little playlist right here, content planning systems, this is where you want to go. You're going to find, and I highly recommend that you watch these. Or the trainings themselves are about 30 minutes long. It's the first part of each of these videos. The description is going to include a checklist for you. This is your entire content planning strategy. And, in full disclosure, you don't even have to have AttractWell to make use of this. You could use this wherever you're blogging, and you're going to have a better time with AttractWell if you're doing this because it's all in one. You don't have to send them somewhere completely different to get access to your lead magnet. You can see if someone's opening up your blog posts, etc. So you're going to want to use AttractWell to implement all of the steps here, but there is a free Trello board that I've included to support your planning process. And this is actually, bear with me just a second. I want to make sure I have the correct one pulled up for you. Yeah, we have a swipe file and content planner that was shared in the checklist in the description there. So let me clear my filters here. So this is the swipe file and content planner. Again, those other trainings that I just showed you are going to show you exactly how to use this. But let's talk about where the content silos actually show up. When you claim this, this board, it's not going to look exactly like this. And again, if you're following the trainings, it'll make a lot of sense. But these are tags on Trello, right? And so you can see that I've specified this is going to be for email, or this is for social media, or this is for a blog post. This is for long form content, which could also include podcasts, etc. But then maybe I'm also going to be talking about top level silos, topics in my content. So for instance, here's my self-care for busy moms. Now, this is something that was scheduled and published previously, but I have a tag for it, and it's a label, right? So if you go, let's pretend like I have a new idea for a blog post, right? So I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna create a long form content card from this template. And this one is going to be the best foods for women over 40, right? So there's my idea for my blog post. I'm actually going to click open here and add some more labels because I specifically want this to be a blog post. Although I might consider creating a podcast for this. So maybe pod, I'll type that in. I've got that label here. I'll do both, but then I need to add my silo. Now you're going to see actually self-care here. This was listed as a silo. If you go show more labels, I actually have these filled in already. But where you see when you get this, when you get access to this template is you'll see content silo 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's self-care for busy moms, right? So here I'm going to actually edit this one because this is about, let's see, that's nutrition for women over 40. That's going to be one of my top level topics. That's going to be my silo. So here I'm going to check this guy off. And that's my topic, right? So that's the silo that this fits under. If I wanted to create another blog post, maybe I'm planning right now, and I have another idea. This one is going to be for uh, wellness routines that work for women in perimenopause. And again, here I have the opportunity to specify I'm going to make this a blog post, and then I can go and find my content silos. And so maybe this one, let me show more labels. I'm actually going to modify one of my others that I created previously. This content silo I will call, um, let's see, wellness over 40, right? So now everything that I create that has this tag, I'll actually be able to find quickly and easily. And I can actually see what that looks like for me. If I go up here to filters and I scroll down, I can find my content silos that I've specified and see what all I have created previously and what I have in terms of ideas, right? So you have the ability to kind of get visibility into what this looks like, both current and previous. All right, so let me get back over here. That was your Trello board. So use that. Use that Trello board, that swipe file content planner, and update those content silo labels to reflect the ones that you have chosen. That again is going to assist you in your content creation, keeping things organized, and apply those to your swipe content, to your draft content. And then, of course, that's going to help indicate to you as well which of those tags you should use when you actually go to publish in AttractWell. And be sure to make sure you're rotating between those silos to make sure you've got balanced coverage of those key topics. And then plan out those blog posts, those emails, your supporting content with your silos in mind. Right? So you can have series, you can be developing ideas that you can drip out. I think when you create these structures, when we're no longer looking at a scattered mess of stuff on the table, we have them sort of organized into groups and categories. I find that that unlocks ideas and creativity more so than staring at a haze of stuff that's just scattered around, right? And what you'll find is that if you're using that same organized approach when you're creating, you're going to benefit from others getting it. They're going to be able to arrive and see the whole story of what it is that you do because there's a logical connection between the points that you're making, the offers being placed in front of them, and they're going to, as such, be able to better understand you and want to trust what you have to say, right? Does that make sense? All right, so remember, be sure to check out this content planning systems playlist on our YouTube. Again, Greg's got the link here in the chat, and I showed you guys how to find that just a minute ago. That is the content planning systems, and you've got a Trello board in there, and I give you a full checklist on your ideation, creation, and publication strategies to plan and publish an entire month or even an entire quarter's worth of content in an hour to an afternoon, depending, right? So, you could get a month worth of content done and published if it's just a blog inside of an hour. If you follow this system, and I've got the planning tools there for you, they're free. And then, of course, you can use that same strategy, scale it up a bit, give yourself a few hours instead of one, and you can have an entire quarter's worth of long form content and social content that supports it ready to go and drip out on schedule without you having to sit down every week and think, well, what am I going to write about? What am I going to email about? You'll already have it figured out, and you can just do the work that you do best, which is working with your clients. And that's why we're here with AttractWell. We want to help you use smart technology and strategies to be able to get all the things done that your business needs without having to hire a bunch of people, right? So that you can spend more time doing the work that matters most to you and to your clients. All right, so we do have two folks signed up for live work reviews today. I'm going to do a brief go through of the Q&A here. I want to thank you guys for your patience in advance, and do make sure if the questions if you don't hear your question answered, please make sure that you've got that in the Q&A because I might miss it if it's in the chat. Okay, let's see. Wonder if we can actually automatically have a tag added to new members to our opportunity and then automate them into an email sequence. So Babette and Kendra, I think I might need a little bit more information from you to that end. when you add people into your system, meaning adding contacts into your system, if you are, and it sounds like you might have a network marketing opportunity, and if that's the case, what I would do is take a download of your genealogy file or your virtual office file of your people. Our system, if you turn on the network marketing features, will sometimes depends on how yours is structured. There is a tree viewer that is utilized in a lot of cases. Again, it's not going to work for every network marketing company structure, but there are a lot of really cool features there to consider and unlock. But when you add them, you can do things like applying automations that will maybe tag them, send them a welcome campaign, etc. You've got a lot of options there. Feel free to reach out to us if you're looking for more specific guidance. And we do have dedicated trainings on our network marketing features as well. All right, Lillian says, I have clarity. I need to organize them across social media platforms. Yeah, totally. Oh, and you know what? If you're using Instagram, this is another great place to be able to showcase those, right? You've got all those, I don't even use it, but you've got those, those little areas at the top where you can maybe kind of organize your, kind of what you talk about into categories. So people really can reinforce their understanding of what you should be known for. All right, Zoom user, what is a differentiator in the Trello labels from silos to grain articles labels? So this is a good question. So generally speaking, what I want you to think about here is that your silos are representative of top level categories, right? And so your top level categories are going to be, well, those are the silos, right? So it's going to be topics, it's going to be A, B, C, D, or ABC or whatever, right? And then those need to be sort of umbrellas that lots of other things can show up beneath. Now, you can have additional tags. I wouldn't necessarily apply them here though, right? Because really, this is your Trello swipe file and content planner is really a high level tool. It's a big picture tool for you. If you want to get a bit more granular of maybe additional keywords that you might want to focus on, like sub keywords, these would be like related keywords to your top level topics. I wouldn't necessarily clog up your Trello board labels with those. So what you'll find, and actually, let me see. This is the template that you would receive when you download the template. And so we can actually take a quick look here at what all of these standard labels are. So we've got content silo 4, we've got email. So you've got modes, right? And these are all modes that are on the Trello board. How you deliver, those are your modes. So email broadcasts, social media posts, long form content, that's going to be your podcast, YouTube, blog posts. And then anything that maybe relates to your design. If you want to have something else here as well, maybe you want to gather your FAQs here for different purposes. Maybe you're someone who does a lot of in-person marketing. You have swag and stuff like that that you want to maybe develop marketing materials that are like physical. You can put another list here if you'd like. But generally speaking, if we go to our labels, you're going to see modes. So email, social media, blog post, design, YouTube. And then you can also, create, and I don't really necessarily love this one, but you can create sort of themes that you might want to use. So like urgency, for instance, is not going to be a silo, right? Or call to action isn't going to be a silo, but these are things that you might want to tag your swipe with. Right. So, and again, you want to make sure you watch those trainings. But if you see a great example of a call to action in an email and you want to swipe that and put it over here into your email ideas, you should do that, right? And then you could actually indicate, here's our subject line. I like the call to action, so I'm going to apply that call to action here. Now, getting back over here, again, examples of storytelling. And then you've got, your content silos, your social media platforms. So I would really just stick to the content silos themselves, and then just make sure that as you are thinking about the topics that you want to talk about, that you're able to frame them in such a way that they fit under those silos, because the silos need to be directly relevant to what your ideal person is interested in, right? And if it's not, then it shouldn't be your silo. It needs to be something that they would immediately identify with and would be useful to them. All right, a couple more questions and I'm going to bring out our live work reviews. Okay. Oh, that's a Greg question. All right. Galler says, it seems my brand expertise is difficult to get responses. Training new teachers to understand quality instructions begins with quality planning. Okay. So if you're having trouble connecting, then I would encourage you to spend more time with the people who are representative of who you want to serve and learn more about how they identify their problems and goals. If you can speak the language that they're speaking to each other, to themselves, to Google, then you'll find the answer. From a subject matter perspective, you're going to be talking about the same stuff, right? Like adjusting these content silos doesn't mean that your subject matter changes. It means that the organizational structure and how you contextualize what you're talking about changes. The subject is still the subject, right? If you're a wellness coach and you want to talk about the importance of sleep and hunger hormones, then you're going to talk about that. But you're not going to talk about it like a generalist. You're going to talk about it to the woman over 40 that you're trying to serve because you've got a course that helps women in perimenopause, right? That's really it, right? Like the subject matter that you're talking about is the same. We're just coming up with better organizational structures so that we can provide them a better experience to get to know us and our expertise. And of course, allow the search engines to see that we are somebody who has a wealth of content that someone might find what they're looking for if they visit. All right, so is each of these tiles in Trello considered a silo? No. I would definitely recommend that you watch those Trello trainings. Um, or those it's content creation trainings utilizing the Trello board. Those lists in Trello are about modes. It's about planning the emails you're going to send out, planning the long form content you're going to create, such as blog posts, YouTube videos, etc. It's about that, and you're tagging it with your silos. So on Trello, your silos are represented via those labels that I just showed you. So, and it's actually, it shows silo one, silo two, silo three, silo four. Use those, and that way you can label because when you're talking about one of the topics that falls under your content silos, it could be a social media post, it could be an email, it could be a blog post, it could be a section of your website. And so it's from an organizational perspective, you're going to see it organized on your blog, right? Through those categories, the use of those categories. But in Trello, you're organizing based on content mode. Okay, so I would like to first bring out, bear with me just a second. Okay, here we go. Um, Sorry. All right, David, are you here? If you are here, David, just pop your hand up and I will bring you out to chat. Hi, I understand you're wanting to create a live event. Is that right?
Yes, I was just
Yeah,
trying
tell
to.
me more.
I was just trying to. I'm kind of just getting my feet wet, and
Okay.
I'm a um, fitness coach that's done one to one in person, and I've never done the online thing. So just trying to get all the platforms together, ideas together, and just do it all at one place instead of having 8,000 different places to go to for resources. So anyway, I'm just trying
Yeah.
to figure it all out.
Okay. Um, do you have do you currently have an account with us?
Yes, I just signed up today or last night.
Okay, perfect. If you could maybe shoot me a message in the chat here so I could figure it out because it looks like you might have had one um and it doesn't look active. Let me see. Oh no, wait. I think I'm good. No, that's not an active subscription. So yeah, if you could maybe just shoot me a message here in the chat or just let me know if there's like a different name it might be under.
Should be. Yeah, I can shoot you a message in the chat though.
Okay, awesome. Um, yeah, so it's from what you said here, I think when you signed up for the call, You are wanting to set up a free event where someone registers and then gets a confirmation email. And then a couple days before the event, you're reminding them, and then you want to be sending them stuff maybe before and after as well,
Okay, that must be
right?
somebody else then.
What?
I didn't say that stuff.
Oh,
Must be
okay.
somebody.
Well, there's another David that signed up, and I guess he's not here. Well, that
That's
either
funny.
way, can I help you with anything since you're here and your hand is up?
No, I was just asking where the Trello board where I missed where you said where we can find the Trello board.
Sure, yeah, that's going to be hang on just a second. Let me get into an account that I can show. Um, all right, so in the Success Academy in AttractWell, which when you're signed in, you can go right over here under Start here, it says Success Academy, live
Okay.
training and replays, and then go view by topic. And Greg actually put a link as well in
Okay.
the chat, but just so you know for future reference, content planning systems is where all of this, including the video that you're on right now, is going to show up. And the
Okay.
Trello board is going to be shared inside of a checklist in the description for any of these videos. And this is an entire system. So I would definitely recommend, even though they say they're 54 minutes long or an hour long, they're actually, it's 30 minutes at the top is really all you need to see to follow that system. So yeah, you'll find that Trello board there and it works with the free plan.
Okay. And so we do have to sign up for Trello in order to utilize that, correct?
Yeah, but it would be a free Trello account.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure thing. All right. I believe I saw that Renee is here. You are here, correct? Raise your hand up for me. Let me know. Perfect. Hey, how can we help?
Hi, Ashley, Coach Ashley. Thank you so much. Can you hear
Of
me
course.
okay?
Yes, ma'am, I can. You've got a
Oh,
lot going on. Tell me about what you're working on. How
I,
can we help?
but I'm so proud of all the stuff I've built with TrackWell, so I'm really grateful.
You should
Um,
be. You should be
Thank
proud.
you. Thank
Good
you.
work.
Thank you so much. So I have a Love Unblocked bundle that originally was a bundle, but then I realized from talking to mentors that I really should turn it into an actual group coaching program. So I've been slowly building it, and I have the sales page that is for the bundle. And what I was initially thinking was to turn, like, as I'm offering to for people to purchase the bundle have two upsells.
Okay.
That's what I don't know how to do. So I
Okay.
created two upsell pages, but I don't know how to connect them because there's various options. It could be someone saying, nope, I just want the bundle for $79, or they could say, I want the bundle and I want to talk with you. So I'm just trying to figure out like how to make the funnel work. I think I'm almost there. But because the sales page has the option to check out, I need to remove that option to check out and move them through the sales page. But I was trying to minimize all the clicks.
Yes, yes. Okay. It's smart to do that. Because if we send them too far, they may decide, yeah, one click may be too many. Um, Tell me the upsells, is it all one time purchase or is any of it recurring, like a membership or something?
So one's a membership, which, by the way, we already created a membership, was like a monthly question session. So it's similar. We just need to tweak the language. And then the
Okay.
second upsell is a consultative call so
Okay.
that they can have a call with me to learn about our coaching program
Okay. All right. So tell me, what is the name of the page
called
that
the
we have set up?
Love Unblocked. So I usually
Unblocked.
just do love because for some reason, if I write unblocked, it doesn't come. Oh, did it come up? Oh, yeah, it did. Okay. So it's the one on, yes, that one to the left.
Okay.
The,
Um,
the,
this one?
yeah, right there. Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go take a look at it published first. Um, Excellent. So we've got a video here. Are you basically are you telling them about like this is sort of just like a little video letter telling them
Yeah,
this is your
it's just
sales page?
pretty much like the copy. So this is the
Okay,
sales page,
great.
and that's the bundle.
Excellent. Okay. And this bundle is a one-time purchase, right?
Correct.
Okay, great. Oh, this we need to address. There's you see how it's cutting off the text right there?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
it looks different on different pages, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll move it around again.
Okay. All right. Do you happen to have the bonuses sort of listed out here? Or sorry, the upsells, are they listed on the page?
I didn't. Should I?
So it
I didn't
depends.
know really how to do it.
Yeah,
So then,
yeah. So it's going to depend on how you want to do this. So as of right now, we don't have like an immediate click upsell to like, take the payment information that they just put in and have that be an agreement. If say like you redirect them to another page and all they got to do is click a button and now they purchased another thing. That's not something that we support right now. So in the interest of conversions, the best thing to do is to actually have the details listed on this page. And then
Mhm.
that way at checkout, when we say get started now,
So see,
it,
I started to connect them. That's why I
uh-huh,
did that to
got
the
you.
second page. But I didn't, we didn't connect every link because I'm only going to have two links, I think, on the sales page. Is that what you recommend? Like they might scroll maybe a quarter of the way down once they know what it is,
Uh-huh.
and then they can opt in. So I took all the links off of the top and put them
Yes.
at more of the bottom.
Yeah, on a sales page, the only button, like the only link that you want is to the form where they check out. That's
Okay.
the only thing. Like you don't want to really send them anywhere else. Unless maybe at the very end, if you want to have like if you got questions, I can hop on a 15-minute call or whatever, right? That's all fine. What is okay, so
So
this is before.
this was the upsell tier,
Okay,
but
got
I
you.
didn't know what to do other than a page.
Understood. So you've got a couple options here. I would say, make sure that you get rid of the form here. Because where you're going to go from here, if you want to use this, by the way, use of color, so good.
Thank
So good.
you.
This is very, very like it's bold, but it's not too much. Like it's really it's good. It's vibrant.
Thank
So
you.
this, of course, yeah, this is gonna go to the vault where they would check out at the
Correct.
vault, right?
Right.
If that's what you're going to do. So what you might consider is maybe have this be where you redirect them after they purchase on this previous page, right? So you're
Okay.
selling this initial thing and you're maybe saying, this is a one time, you might want to position this maybe a little bit more clearly with copy at the top that says, one time offer, first month free or something, however you want to position that. And
Mhm.
then you basically, this is a second sales page where you're making a one time offer for that membership, right? And if they say, yes,
Okay.
I want it, then this would take them over, that button would take them over to the Vault checkout page where they would then sign up. And it would be a two-part process. We do have separate payment processing for recurring versus one time. So that's what I would do here is to on this page, let's go back to this one, right? The main sales page. Let's really focus on selling because we don't want to distract too much, right? From this thing that we really want them to make this decision and say, yes, I want this. And so basically you can offer this and maybe this plus call with you here, right? But you do want to make
Oh,
sure
okay.
that you're really on this page telling them how valuable that call is going to be and what they're going to get, right? So really pitching the value of adding that call on. And then in the pop-up that you're using, you also want to, let me find that button here again. You
It's
want to
at the I'm
utilize
in.
here we go. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Look at me.
I think if you
Uh,
go down, it's further down after the I'm in. That'll bring up the actual checkout.
I would definitely recommend that you have that button maybe show up a little more often.
Okay.
That's fine. It's fine. Here, let's go back to, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I would recommend that you do. The first one is going to be over here in settings under leads, message to show. This is going
Mhm.
to be some really valuable real estate for you, especially because you're going to be offering two different payment options at checkout, right? So
Okay.
reiterate what those are here. And you can utilize an image here, like that nice mock-up image that you have of what they're receiving in the bundle. So
Mhm.
they are seeing it while they're putting in their payment information, right? Like you've got that visual reinforcement. So this will show up alongside all of those fields where they'll put in their name and their address and their credit card and all that kind of stuff. And then you can reiterate and kind of spell out here, name the option, right? Bundle, get access to ABCD, valued at X amount of dollars, get it now for this price. And then the other option, limited time, get the bundle and, a bonus call with me for this price, valued at this much, et cetera. So you would put that here, take advantage of this real estate to really sell those. And then under payments, you've got your Love Unblocked. Add the payment option here that has that higher price that includes a call with you. And then you could also attach a one call package here as well that would automatically apply to that person. Um, and then you could send a link out to them to book as part of the campaign that you send out for that additional payment option. Is that
Can you
making
say
sense?
that again?
Yeah, I knew I
This
was
this
talking a
is
little fast.
I feel like this is so complicated. Oh my
No, you're
goodness.
good. So this is the Love Unblocked bundle,
Uh-huh.
right? And this is
Right.
Love Unblocked bundle and call, right? And so maybe for
Mhm.
this call, this is, with the call, it's 297 or, whatever you want to do here. I would make a call package, right? Because you are offering a call with them and it's a single
Mhm.
call package. So just create a call package. You can apply it right here. And that's going to automatically allow that contact to be able to use the link to, and we have other trainings on our call packages and stuff that you could consult for that, but you could send the link out to that call package in the campaign that you attach here, right? Um,
Hmm.
so in any case, you're going to want to tag them accordingly, right? So did this person buy, they bought the purchase of Love Unblocked, but this specifically would need to be the purchase Love Unblocked bundle with call, right?
Can I ask you a
So
question?
yeah.
Because you made me think about something. So I was gonna make the call free because I was thinking about I'm really positioning them to buy into my group coaching. But now that you
Mm.
say this, maybe what I could do is say that call could be added to the group coaching. Um, I don't know. I like you get where
I
I'm
think
looking
you're, I
like, is
think
it
you're, yeah, I think you're onto something. So I think that when you reach capacity where it is no
Mhm,
longer tenable for you to be able to take these calls,
mhm,
like you're too booked, right? Your business is too full.
right.
At that point, you're going to want to consider gatekeeping, right? Charging for it, etc. But
Gotcha.
until you're at that point where there is such an abundance that you have to create systems for it, I think it's actually better to position the call with you as being an enormous value add. Because that's going
Mm,
to there, that's an absolute steal, but it's also going to be giving you intel because this is a fairly new offer, right?
correct.
When you have the
Correct.
opportunity, if somebody says yes to this, you want to know why, you want to know what else they need, and that's going to be the best option to get them into a community, into continuity, right? Because getting
That's what I was
somebody to
thinking.
pay $100 a month, like you got to have some relationship there, right? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you're going to be able to build that more quickly on a call with them than you ever would on like a sales campaign that's trying to upsell your membership. You should absolutely do that redirect to that one-time offer,
Right.
which you've, kind of already done with this second page, right? Um, so like send them here after they purchase, right?
Okay.
Regardless of what they purchase. But then in any case, allow them to book a complimentary call with you, but position that call as something that is worth, this many hundreds of dollars where they're going to get X, Y, and Z benefit out of it. Really position that as really like a feature of or a very, very high value bonus that they're getting access to here. And like be sure to apply like that dollar sign to your time so that they really appreciate that this is a big value add.
Got you. Now, the final thing is, should I tell them that the call is about my Love Unblocked coaching program, or should I wait until they get on and see if they're a good fit and then share with them the opportunity?
Yeah, yeah. So what you're going to want to think about doing is positioning this as something that has a deliverable, right? So think about what the problems are that they're facing, that maybe this by itself, this bundle by itself is not going to fully solve. And you're going to help them, like generally speaking, the giveaway that you're pitching on a discovery call is a game plan, right? It's a what am I going to do next? There is something that they are dealing with right now where they feel kind of lost, or they feel like they've tried everything to some extent, and they need a plan and they need some feedback from somebody who knows well how to help them. And that's really what you're positioning this call as. And I wouldn't say the call is about your coaching program because not everybody you're going to get onto these calls with is going to be a fit. There are going to be cases where you're not even going to make the offer, right? Where it's not a fit. And so that's why I would never position a discovery call as it being about like talking about this thing that you want to get them to buy, because number one, they're never going to get on that call with you because they know the pitch is coming. But if we position this as I'm going to help you solve a problem that you're struggling to solve
Okay.
on your own, and you're going to walk away with a plan to solve it, whether they buy from you again or not, like that's going to be the compelling reason for them to say yes.
Got it. Okay. That helps. That's very helpful.
Good,
Okay.
I'm
I
glad.
think I got it. Yeah. Very, very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So let's take a quick look at this section and just kind of see um, what
I think
might
I've been
be.
struggling with a little bit since the format changed. It makes it you could do more, but it
Mhm.
has caused me to have a little challenge what it looks like on the computer versus the phone.
Yeah, like I feel like there might be like a margin thing happening. Here we go. Position adjustment, left, right. I think that's kind of what's going on here is that that's like over
Mhm.
here, but they're not in the same space, maybe. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna
Like
undo
when
what
I
I
clicked
just.
on the letters, they moved over. At one point, I had them on the same alignment, and
Uh-huh.
then when I went to look back at it, it was still wrong.
Got you. I don't know. Greg, could you take a stab at this idea-wise? Because it looks like it's all very sort of like, I don't know, like right aligned almost, but I'm not seeing that that's what's happening necessarily.
I
Yeah,
think I
interesting. I
need to make
wonder.
the photo smaller.
That would certainly help as well, but there is like it is sort of attaching on the published page to the it's on the right side of the screen and even going off it. And it looks like this one is doing that as well um, in both of these sections. But it doesn't look like the sections themselves are, it doesn't look like they're edited to like, be on a side. Um, Normal width. Okay. Hmm. This might be maybe shoot a message to our team. Someone who is not named Ashley is going to be a little bit more qualified to make recommendations about this and fixing this. Generally speaking, when I get to a position like this, when I'm making a page, is I'll preserve all of the copy, right? Like I will go in and copy all of this, the content of what's here. And I'll
Mhm.
just make a new section because sometimes we fool around with the little adjustments and stuff to the point where we can't quite figure out how we got there, or at least that's my story, and I've seen it happen a lot. And then you've kind of got it realigned the way that it needs to be.
Okay. Well, you helped me really clarify absolutely what to do because I could not figure out the upsell at all. Me and my VA were scratching our heads. So,
Yeah. Oh, let
thank
me
you
show you
very much.
actually. Yeah, absolutely. Let me show you real quick. Over here under settings, um, you have a couple of options. So redirecting to this page is what you want to
Mhm.
do after they purchase. Now, if, well, I would actually apply this to anyone who purchases, right? Because this is really just all about getting them into the membership,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So I would, you could use an automation to do this, but honestly, a very easy thing to do is just to go under leads and what to do after they register. Make sure that you aren't doubling up on a campaign here, right? If you have a campaign that you're applying under payments, make sure that so long as you only have one payment option here, I think you're fine. Just don't have a campaign here because it will do two. Um, and this, it looks like it's going to that thing, to like a lead magnet thank you page. Where I would send them is actually here. And I would
Okay.
edit this page again to have some kind of message up at the top to really demonstrate that this is like a one-time special offer, right? Where, I'm going to send you to the next page. And if you use the code, whatever the code, then you can, get your first month for half off or something like that, right? Really kind of position this as more clearly a one-time offer is being made that they need to pay attention to and take action on right now. And then put that here and send them here after they purchase.
Now that page that you just were on, that
Mhm.
page is the membership page.
Yes.
So you're still saying, okay, so maybe I give them a credit to reduce that 99. And
Yeah, and I mean you
when
don't
we get
have to. You don't have to discount this or anything. I'm just suggesting that you find whatever way works best for you that most aligns with
positioning,
you.
yeah.
To really like make this a just an extraordinary value that they got to take advantage of right now. What I would probably do, again with a newer offer, I might not necessarily do this at scale with ads and stuff, is I would provide some kind of a very low price, dollar for your first month or something like that, and then
Mhm.
really make sure that you're doing the work to get them onto the call with you, because that's how you're going to, again, really cement that relationship so that we can, maybe they did take you up on that offer, free or cheap or however you want to discount it. If you do, then you'll be able to maybe keep them in longer because they'll already be in. Or, of course, if you want to keep it at full price, which no problem in doing that whatsoever, they will have seen this and been somewhat familiar already, and they're going into that call with you probably wondering if this is a fit for them, which is a good position for them to be in when they get onto that call.
So that's perfect. So the since we already set up the monthly Q&A that
Mhm.
I want to convert for this, I'd like to, should I just direct them to that vault that's already over there, but just change the branding a little bit, change the content? That's
Uh,
kind of what I was thinking.
the vault. So I mean, you would want to add them to whatever the vault is that's being sold. Um,
So it's so what I'm saying is I if you go down a little bit,
mhm.
I go all the way down. See, I already created all the way at the bottom. See, I created a Love Unblocked monthly live Q&A. So I was
Okay.
going to that vote's pretty much already set up. So I was going to send them to that vote. That's the right way to do it, right? I just have to change the verbiage.
Yes.
Basically, what I did is because this is a membership vote too, but
Yeah.
I just need to change the price, change the wording, because I think the second vote will give them more value. That's why I changed it.
Got you. Yeah, and just make sure that, if it's not called the exhale space, make sure that this gets renamed, right?
Mhm.
Or the love camp, right? Like there's a few different, like there's a naming convention here that might need to be tightened up a little bit just to make sure people are really clear on what it is that they are being offered and what they're getting. So is it the love camp? Is it the exhale space? Is it love unblocked monthly Q&As? Just make sure that you're being super clear about that and consistent. And then where you're sending them from this page, so you're making the pitch here, right? Get into my membership. Here's what you're going to get. It's going to be great. Here's why it's going to like add on to what you just purchased because we're acknowledging that they just bought something from us. Um, and then we can unlock it. for this much, or, use this code and you can get it for this much for your first month, yada, yada. And then down here, this button needs to send them to this link right here,
Got it.
the
The Vault
checkout
link.
page. Yeah, it's the
Okay.
Vault checkout page.
Okay, got it. Okay. Okay. We will make some tweets.
All right, I'm excited to see them come back and,
Good.
show.
Thank you so much. That was extremely helpful.
Good. I'm glad, Renee. Thanks for coming out.
You're welcome.
And she should be so proud of the work that she's done. Gorgeous work, vibrant, beautiful website. All right, Maria Lupita, in Trello, is there enough of a difference between the free and paid accounts to allow me to open additional tools? Honestly, the only reason why I use paid Trello is because I create templates to share. And like we as a team, like we'll have multiple people on boards to collaborate on things. So if you need team functions or you need to like make a template for people to use, then paid makes sense. That's really the only reason I pay for it. It's not crazy expensive. It's on par with what you might pay for Canva Pro, which is fine. Canva Pro is way more useful in my view for the money. All of the features that are implemented in the content planning strategies that I utilize and that I've taught in that series 100% only uses the free version of Trello. So you don't need to get the paid version to get the benefit. If you find that some of the functions, the automations, the cool stuff that you can do with them are a fit for how you want to work, it's a cool tool. I just don't think that the majority of us really need more than what the free plan allows, unless and until like you have maybe VAs that are working with you, writing your content, publishing your content for you, et cetera, right? So when you start moving into more of a team collaboration situation, that's around when I think that the paid Trello starts to make a bit more sense. But to each their own. Thank you guys for sticking around and doing great work. It inspires us. And of course, we are here to help you reach whatever that next phase is for you, that next launch you want to make. Reach out to us. Let us know if you are looking for a training topic or something that you haven't seen. You want to work with us here. We've got those opportunities available. And of course, we'll be back here same time next week where we're going to be talking about finding and really, really zooming in on our ideal client. So look forward to seeing you then. And until then, have a great week, everybody.